Hi, Gemini, and welcome to your Timeless Tarot reading. This tarot reading is intended to help those of you who are at a crossroads with making a decision. Perhaps some of you have a decision to make between 2 or 3 different things. Some of you may just be curious if I, take this job or I go down this particular path, what's the most likely outcome? Okay, you can use this reading to gain information about a situation in the past that didn't really work out and maybe you didn't know why, like you were just kind of left hanging. So you can use this reading in several different ways, okay? This is path 1, this is path 2, and this is path 3. Whatever you're asking about, you have to decide which path is represented by that. So if you are trying to decide between 2 different people, what's the most likely potential between 2 people, you have to decide which person would represent which path here, okay? So go ahead and decide that. I have created timestamps for each path here, and I will shuffle those cards back into the deck, and I will get started with path 1. So if you are drawn to a different path, go ahead to the timestamp for that. Okay, so those of you who were drawn to path 1, let's pull a card for the positive aspects about this path and the potential negative aspects about this path. Okay, so this could go either way, so these are not going to be our aspects, but we're going to know that this has something to do with this path. There's lust and there's obedience. So this particular path could be where it's kind of steering you off course from your current trajectory of energy. This to me is like kind of sketchy, questionable energy. So let's see what accompanies that. All right. For the positive, with this, you see the situation for what it is, okay? Like, you just do, Gemini. Like, what you think you see and feel intuitively about this particular path and situation, you're 100% correct on that, okay? You see things for what they are, and that's the positive. The negative is there's a lot of deception here, whatever this path represents for you, okay? It will constantly, you could be saying, look, I know what's really going on, and then it will be said to you, no, you're just crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just whatever, like you're crazy, Gemini. And you're going to be like, no, I'm not crazy. Like, I see what's up. I see what's going on. There's dishonesty. Yeah, so with this path, Gemini, you've got to be really careful and make sure you trust yourself every step of the way, because you're seeing things for what they are, okay? When somebody's trying to be like shady, you see that, and I do see there's some shade along path 1 here, okay? So let's pull some tarot. Alright, so we have the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, the Page of Swords, and the Lovers. Look at that. Yeah, so some of you, this could involve a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could involve an Aries with that Emperor, could be another air sign, a fellow Gemini, because we have the Gemini card, or even a Libra or Aquarius here. So this to me looks like either going into like some sort of partnership or business with somebody, and I don't feel like they're all on the up and up, or this is about a romantic relationship, and I just feel like whoever you are involved with isn't exactly straight up and straightforward with you. And look at that. I don't know, I just feel like there's infidelities on this path, okay? Or maybe this is you, where you're already involved in a relationship, and this is like a relationship you're trying to have on the low, okay? Because I do see like passion, lust, sex, but there's some shade to this, I can't lie. So let's see what the ultimate outcome is here. Oh man, okay. That's what just fell out. Darkness looms on the horizon. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. No, this is not the path for you. This is not the way. It does not look like it's going to work out well. You already know that. Why are we involved in this? Let's pull some advice. Connect. Prayer. Okay, pray. Whatever this is, Gemini, honestly, I don't think this is good for you, okay? Whoever you are dealing with is not an honest person, and I don't feel like they will be honest with you ever. I mean, we have darkness looms on the horizon as the most likely potential outcome here, and we see that up here. So listen, Gemini, you have to do what you feel is best for you, but this path, I would say no, run the other way. There's a lot of deception and betrayal within the energy of it, and it's like doomed for failure. It's like doomed for heartache. There's no prosperity ahead on this path, okay? So you've got to choose what's right for you. But I would not recommend path 1, okay? Whatever that represents for you personally. And if this is a situation of the past that didn't work out and left you hanging, Gemini, count your lucky stars that you dodged this bullet, because whoever this person is, shady as hell. Shady as hell. That's all I gotta say. So, those are your messages for path 1. I hope that has helped and brought you some guidance and clarity, as rough as that was. But anyways, take care, Gemini. Okay, so let's see what comes out for those of you attracted to path 2. I'm going to pull a card for what is positive about this path and what is potentially negative about this path. Okay, what's positive is there's a lot of flow, there's a lot of harmony, there's potential for a lot of wonderful, unexpected things on this path. And what's potentially negative is the High Priestess of Air. There could be a tendency to not think logically, or potentially who else is involved in this path with you could not be totally honest, okay? Because we have the 2 priestesses here, the High Priestess of Water and the High Priestess of Air. I did see 2 priestesses come out in Aries readings, so I don't know if you have an Aries affiliation, but out of all the readings I've done so far, the 2 of you are the only 2 that had 2 priestesses come out together. So I'm going to pull some tarot here. This could also be where you are super emotionally involved, but the other person isn't going to be to the same capacity as you with these pairing of priestesses. But let's see what the tarot adds to these. Or you know what, it could even be like we struggle to communicate. Alright, so we have the World card here, and we have the 9 of Swords. Now we have the 3 of Swords and the Hierophant. So very interesting. Listen, Gemini, This is kind of similar to path one, where it's like, I feel like this is something you really want. Like, you don't see yourself outside of path two. It's like, no, this is what I truly want. But what I feel about this is, because this is of the potential negative, I just feel either the situation, because we have the Hierophant here, so it could be like an institution that you're dealing with, an organization, a job, or a relationship with somebody else. I feel like very controlling of you brings you a lot of sadness and heartache, because it's like they don't show you a whole lot of emotional, okay? It may be like, or they lie to you, or they don't communicate very well with you. There's just some aspect of this path that brings you sadness due to the control and this High Priestess of Air, which is either A, we're not communicating, B, we're being very controlling, C, we're not looking at things logically, or D, we're lying, okay? So that's what's negative about this path. But what's positive about this path is there is a lot of growth. There is a lot of things that can change and happen and unfold along this path. So let's pull the most likely potential outcome to path 2 for Gemini. Interesting, major arcana, and then swords. A lot of mental energy associated with this path. And some of you, it's almost like you might have to move to like a different location, so like a different state, different country, for this, and that's what the sadness is about. Like, it is in your highest good, but it will bring you sadness because you're going to miss some people, okay? So that's, not such a bad thing. But look at, this is card 6, this is card 5, and this is, the Hierophant could represent a Taurus. So it's just like there's control. There's a lot of control. But look, we have destined to succeed. So if this is about a job and relocation, you are destined to succeed, and you should go with it, Gemini. All right. So we have the satire and the dagger. Okay, so I see why Destined to Succeed flew out when I was talking, because if this is like about a job or relocating, it's a go, okay? You are destined to succeed. Do it. However, if this is not related to those two things, this is like not in your highest good, this path. If this was a situation in the past that just really left you hanging, Gemini, you are so much better off with that situation, that person being gone out of your life, because the dagger is all about backstabbing and lies and things of that nature. So if this is not about a job, like, or relocating to a new state, new country, don't go down this path. Like, you're best served not to. Like, this is not the best path for you, okay? I just feel like there will be a lot of deception and dishonesty. There will be a lot of growth, okay? A lot of things can change and transform. But again, there's a lot of sadness and heartache attached to this if it's not about a job or relocating. So let's pull some advice on this, because I think some of you may have really wanted this to be like your path, and I'm sorry, but it doesn't look good. Like, it just doesn't look like it will serve you at all. Divine connection, yeah, you really need to fall back on your faith and trust in the divine, the great spirit, God, higher deity that you believe and connect with. Like, you really need to reach out to that higher source, because just because this is the outcome, Gemini, that doesn't mean that you can't walk this path. It's your choice, but this is the most likely energy that you will deal with on this path. And if this is something that you really wanted and you're like, no, I don't want to let this go, you need to pray, you need to connect to your higher deity for a deeper insight, okay? Because this is just a general reading. So, pray, connect to the higher deity and see what further guidance you receive. As far as this reading goes, Gemini, this is probably not a path that you really want to walk down, even if you think you do, okay? So those are your messages for path 2. I hope that that did help and bring you some guidance. Take care. Okay, Gemini, let's see what path 3 has in store for you guys. I'm going to pull a card here for the positive aspect of this path and then the potential negative aspect of this path. Okay, so the positive aspect is loyalty. That's nice, right? We love to see that. And the negative aspect is forbidden. Whoa, Nelly. Okay. Gemini, some of you, I feel like this is where you are kind of like attached to something else, and whatever this path is, like, this is where your heart is, even though it's not where you should be. Whoa. But that's just for some of you, so let's, whoa, yeah, look at this. It's like, I feel like we're doing something that we're not supposed to be doing. Like, this, for some of you, this path is not, like, you shouldn't be on this path, like, because you're currently committed or obligated somewhere else at this moment, some of you, okay? But this is where your heart is. So, as far as, like, this being something in the, whoa, look at that. This way too many cards. As far as this being something in the past, Gemini, even though I see, like, you were true to it, whoever was involved or whatever the situation was, like, it wasn't, like, true to you. This is, like, okay, even though you guys really want this, you'll be 100% in this with forbidden. It says with that card, this is a path that will bring you a lot of pain and sorrow. Doesn't mean this path can't work out. It's just there's a lot of pain and sorrow attached to this path, even though you're all in. Okay, so let's pull some tarot. All right. Yeah, it's like we can't let this go because that's the world in reverse right there. So let's see. So it's like we can't let go. Like, this is what I want. Okay, so we have the 7 of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. Yep, this is where my heart is. Over here we have Strength. And we have the 6 of Cups. Oh my goodness. I really feel like this is a mixed bag. This is a mixed bag. Definitely your heart is in this, but Gemini, oof, I feel like it's going to cause you, like, a lot of heartache and sadness along the way. Like, big time. With Strength there. So, let's pull the most likely outcome for this situation. Okay. Oh. We have love and beware who you trust. Gemini, it's okay, listen. This is, you've got to decide what you want. Because I see your heart is totally in this, whatever it is, like, I can't let this go. But Gemini, know there's a lot of heartache associated with this path, because even though you might have a really good connection and bond with somebody, it's like, are they really on your side at the end of the day? If this is like about a job or some sort of organization, it's, again, your heart is all in it, but at the end of the day, do they have your back? Okay, so let's pull some advice. Activate your power. So with this, Gemini, it's like you need to draw boundaries and demand the same loyalty that you are giving with this situation. And if the person or, if this is about a job, whatever, if that is not on board with you, if that's not on board to give you the same loyalty and love that you are extending, you are better served to let it go. Stand your ground. Be within your power. Be assertive, even though your heart is so involved. I mean, we have love, Ace of Cups, and loyalty. Now, for others of you, if you are already in a relationship and you are like stepping out, again, it's like the same thing where I see you being very emotionally attached, but it's only going to bring you heartache and sorrow in the long run to like the nth degree. Okay, so it's better to not step out where you are. It would be better to end the relationship you're in and then go for this, okay, if that's what you're asking about. If this is something of the past, again, it was not as in and loyal and true as you, Gemini, and that's why it needed to leave your life, okay? And you're better served to let it go because it was never on your side in the first place. So activate your power within. Put those boundaries, lay them out. If this is where you're dealing with the person who just brings you a lot of heartache and pain, okay? You've got to stand up for yourself. And I feel like, it's not that you're not loved and all of that, but I just don't feel like they're as honest and true as you. And they bring you a lot of sadness for somehow, some way, which is the continual choices that they make. If this is like, taking a certain job or something, again, I feel like you are all in it, but there's some element to it where you don't feel like everybody has your back. You can feel like there's a backstabber, and it does bring you sadness. But ultimately, Gemini, with this, you've got to decide on this path. It's not a yes or a no. You've just got to decide what is worth it to you, okay? So those are your messages. I am wishing you all the very best. Take care.